Alright, good morning everybody. It's Friday. We brought the cameras out again. We're going to do another video day for you as long as I'm not training a new driver. So we stopped here at a convenience store and had ourselves a hot ham and cheese sandwich and some mozzarella sticks. That's the meal for the day, and then we'll snack later on throughout the day when we're loading or unloading, as it were. Beautiful sunshine right now. It's going to be a nice day for half of it. After 4 p.m. we might get showers and some heavy thunderstorms, possibility of 1 to 2 inches of rain, so there'll be some good rainers if we get them. But other than that, it should be a nice day. We've got 2 down to Fogelsville and then 2 over to Allentown Airport to do today. So as long as we don't have a trainee in the truck, we will talk to you later. So we are headed up to get our first one. I told you we have 2 out of this Tamaqua location, and then we have 2 out of the other location. These 2 are going down to Fogelsville. The other 2 are going over to the Allentown Airport. And as you can see, it's just a gorgeous day right now. Couldn't ask for a nicer day. Beautiful sky, beautiful sunshine. It is 78 degrees. It is absolute perfection. But it's going to change later on this afternoon per the National Weather Service. After 4 o'clock, we run the risk of showers and possible heavy thunderstorms. So now let's see. Since I got the red light, I can kind of cheat left here and kind of close off that left lane, because if somebody comes down that road, they're going to come right to the end and make it almost impossible for me to make the right turn without running up over the curb. So we are going to close off the left lane so that I can swing this turn in case a car comes there, because it happens a lot. They come right up to the crosswalk there, or what's left of the crosswalk, and then it's almost impossible to make the turn. So, but nobody was coming, so we did good. Of course, the guy sitting behind me in that left lane was probably a little torqued. Why am I splitting the difference? But if you don't drive a truck, you don't know why a driver would do that. So, and most of the time I don't have a problem making that right turn, but sometimes they come down there and they crowd that intersection, and then it's difficult at best. Almost impossible at worst, especially if you can't slide left. If that light's green and you can't slide left, you're pretty much going to have to stop and wait for that car to either back up or make a right turn or whatever the case may be. So, but anyway, we're heading back here to the well. We get that first one. Don't know how the plant's running. I didn't talk to anybody yet. Don't know if we'll be able to get right on and unload, or if we're going to have to sit a little bit like we did yesterday. It was 1 at a time yesterday, and that happens when the silos are full. They're drawing water, but the silos are pretty much up to capacity, and so then we have to wait our turn. You can only load 1 at a time. If they're running really heavy, and you can unload 4 trucks at a time there, because they're drawing water just about as fast as we can bring it in, if not faster. So it all depends on how the plant's running, how many lines are running, stuff like that there. Alright, so loading her up as we speak, loading at about 460 gallon per minute. The last driver that was in here was 2 hours ago. The pad was completely dry. I thought nobody was in here yet today, but that sun's so warm and strong that it doesn't take long to dry off any water that gets on the pad from the previous load. So winter time is a whole different story. It stays wet all day long, but summer sun dries it out pretty quick, so I wasn't sure anybody was even in here or not. But yeah, 2 hours ago was the last truck in here, so that works out pretty good. We got this one, and then we got another one. I don't know if that guy's going to come back here or if he's going elsewhere. Seems like today everybody has 2 and 2s, so nobody's going to the same place all 4 times. We're kind of mixing them up, which is nice. That's the way I like it. I don't like doing 4 to the same place all day long. I like doing 1 and 3 or 2 and 2, you know, either way works good, but it's nice to go somewhere else during the course of the shift and not just the same place. So, all right, we're gonna pull the KOA hill, and then we're gonna have a nice view once we get up to the top of it. Let's see what kind of a roll we can hold here. Should be able to hold 35 up this hill. As long as I can get a decent enough run at it at the bottom, I can hold 35 up at the top. if somebody brakes before they get around that curve and into the hill, then I'm down under 30 miles an hour, because it's a short one, but it's pretty steep. Next time I come down here in the Jeep, I gotta check the grade on this one too. My off-road pages will tell me what the percentage of grade is. So we have 35. I think we're gonna hold up 34. All right, that's close enough, because now we're gonna pick it right back up again as we level off and actually start to go down here. But so we get up here by the township and the state game land building here, a nice view opens up kind of at the top of the valley, and you look across the farm valley towards the other hill, which we call Closser's Hill, or the storage unit hill. I don't know that it has a name per se, but that's how we reference it when we're talking about it. But yeah, right here, it's all nice and wide open. Beautiful. There's farmhouse there on the right. Later on in the season, this house that's closest to the road will usually have a fruit and vegetable stand right here, which makes it a little dicey because people park right along the road so they can stop and buy their produce. So I don't know that's necessarily the best thing in the world, but that's what they do. And they're local farmers and they're selling their produce. You got to watch this turn here for people pulling out in front of you or making the left turn in front of you. Nobody's here today, but you just got to be aware of the possibility of somebody pulling out in front of you there. We come around the bend here and past Lion Valley Garage, then we've got the Clausville Hill, and now this guy's hitting his brakes for some reason up here instead of keeping a roll on, because it's another good little hill that if you get a decent enough run at it, you don't have to slow down to the point of putting four-ways on. But he's slowed down here a little bit, so I had to back out of it a little bit. Not as bad as some of the freight haulers who aren't familiar with the road, maybe never been on it, slow down to about 45 going around that turn, and then that messes everything up, and then I'm going up this hill at 25 miles an hour. Another short and sweet one. That's one of the things with Pennsylvania. West Coast has the long grades that are 5 and 6%. But here we got short and sweet ones that are maybe only a mile long, but they're about 9, sometimes 10% grades. Oh yeah, already you level off here, but yep, one of those short and sweet ones pull me down to 40 miles an hour. Alright, so that's the driver restroom here at the Fogelsville plant. I was telling you the other day that it was out of order. I never did find out why it was out of order, but like I said, just 2 months ago it was freshly renovated. It's actually a pretty nice restroom for a driver restroom, so must have been a plumbing issue. Maybe the toilet wouldn't flush or something like that. But anyway, we're down here unloading the first one. Nobody here on the pad. Nobody was here when I got here. Nobody came while I was here, so I don't know. It's going to be a good, I knock on wood, but so far it looks like it's going to be a good day. And come down here with the second one, probably shouldn't have any problem either. And then I don't know about traffic going over to Allentown on the third one, and then the fourth one should be all right because it'll be later into the evening. So might have a pretty decent Friday, and the weather's beautiful. I don't know how long it's going to hold before we start getting the rain and storms moving in here, but we might get at least half to maybe 3/4. Boy, that sun's bright. Half to 3/4 of the day under our belt before we get any kind of rain. So hopefully we stay dry tonight. Hopefully any storms we do get will be when we're driving and not while we're loading or unloading. Well, I was hoping I could get out of here before he completed his check-in process. So let's see if how good he is at backing up, or if I'm going to have to wait a long time for him, or if he's going to pull off and open his doors first before he tries to back in. Some of these guys are real good, and some of them Well, they aren't so good. It's kind of like anywhere else. Any of you drivers, in the truck stops or whatever, and some folks struggle to back into a spot, and others actually do pretty good. Some get it on the first shot, some have to do a couple pull-ups, and some people just, it takes them a half an hour. But a lot of room here. It's not real busy today. There are days where it's real busy, and there's trucks backing in and pulling out all over the place. But it's pretty straightforward and easy day today. He had a nice wide open dock there. Do his driver's side. Let's see. He may not even have to pull up other than open his doors. Yeah. We got a few minutes to wait. Yeah, he got that pretty good. Everybody has to pull up at least once for the most part. Just as long as he pushes it back a little bit to open up his doors and we can get through, which I think we can do right now. But yeah, that man, the driver, he's not a steering wheel holder. He knows what he's doing. Alright, so we just topped the Blue Mountain and we're coming down the Schuylkill County side and starting to see more cloud cover up there to the north and northwest. So it looks like whatever storm event is coming our way is getting closer. It is 2 p.m. on the nose. They said that after 4 p.m. we could probably start seeing showers and thunderstorms, and it does look like it's getting a little bit cloudier to the north and west. So that's probably the direction everything's coming, but the most severe storms and the heaviest rain is actually supposed to be south and east of our location. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Actually, flood watch is up for Lehigh County, Northampton County, but up here, Schuylkill County, no flood watch. But they still want 1 to 2 inches of rain up here, so I don't know if they want more down there, how they want it to play out, but the weather's supposed to be more severe the further south you go. Now it's snack time here, loading up the second one. The sun went in for a moment, but it's still nice out. But moving along pretty good, 2:15, loading this one up. We'll be done about 2:20, 2:35. Head on down there, get down there about 3:15, I think, ish, and get it unloaded, and then we'll come back up and start the Allentown process. That one, like I said, that first load, we may take it across 248 over there through Lehigh Gap, and over to Airport Road, and drop down that way to the airport, because it might just work out better than going down to 22 and going across. I'll look at Google Maps to see for sure, but I have a feeling that 22 is going to be a mess. Even if it doesn't look that bad on Google Maps, sometimes it changes. One day it was yellow and I thought, it's not too bad, and I got down there and there had been an accident in Hammer Lane right there by MacArthur Road, had everything jammed up all the way back to 309, and it took me almost 45 minutes to go across there. So it might just be better to go across the top on this first one over there, and then the second one to finish out the night I can go back down 22 and go over. So we'll see what happens, but we're going to finish eating this tasty cake pie and wait for this to finish loading, and then we're going to be out of here. All right, we are loaded. 2:30. Actually got done pretty quicker than I expected. I thought we'd roll out of here at 2:35. We're rolling out at 2:30. Not that 5 minutes makes a huge difference, but it was still faster than what I expected it to be. It's loading pretty good today. So, almost wish I could get all 4 of them out of here. That's a pretty fast load time, but the Red Barn loads quick too, and like I said, I like changing it up and not doing the same thing all night long. It's kind of nice like that. So I was just looking at the radar. West of the Susquehanna River, the storms are starting to roll in, and it looks like a bowling ball. I should have actually done a screenshot of it, the way it's coming from actually I thought it was coming from the northwest. It's actually coming from the west-southwest. It looks like a bowling ball because it's spinning counterclockwise as it's moving in our direction, which is probably why maybe the southern half of the state is going to get hit harder than the central and northern part of the state. But still, it's coming. I don't know when. I'm thinking that maybe since it's already 2:30 and it's still way out there, maybe not till closer till 6 o'clock. They were saying after 4, which they won't be wrong, but I'm thinking it might be closer to 6 o'clock till we start seeing some kind of activity around here. So, well, we're rolling on down there and we'll see how we do. Alright, so we're offloading the second one down here, and just a little bit of a glitch. One of the drivers from the other company had come in, and I was kind of ahead of him on 100, but with my bad turning radius, I had to go down the end of the row and turn around, where he was able to flip right in front of the pumps here. So he backed on first. He said, but I was here first, you know, in the scheme of things of coming down 100. So he deferred to me, so while I was in there checking in, he started my pump up, and so now I gotta wait till I'm empty to actually do the check-in process. I already talked to the guys in there, and they know what's going on. But yeah, he meant well by starting my pump instead of him first, you know, and letting me go first, because of I'll have to explain how we do that. But he meant well, but it kind of messed the system up a little bit. All right, so we are empty and heading up for load number 3 to go over to Allentown. This one's going to come out of the Red Barn location. We are not going to go up to Tamaqua for this one. So what I wanted to explain further about the pecking order of jumping ahead or behind somebody coming down here is we kind of have a rule that once you get to a certain point, if you pass somebody who's ahead of you, when you get to the plant, you defer back to who was originally in front of you. And that happens a lot down here with the traffic lights. One's in one lane, one's in the other. One lane gets moving faster than the other, or whatever the case may be. In this case, I went by the 78 ramp just as he was coming down it, so I was technically ahead of him, and even going into the plant. But then he was able to do the flip right in front of the pumps because he's got a good turning radius on his truck, where this thing takes 40 acres to turn around, so I have to go down the road and find me an open spot to turn around. So that put him on the pad ahead of me, and so he decided to start my pump for me. I guess he thought I had done the whole check-in process, but I was only halfway through it. It was enough to let him start the pump, but it wasn't enough for me to actually enter my information in that I was on that pump. It said it was already in use. So I called the on-duty water tech out, explained to him what had happened. He told me that when I was done unloading that I could finish the check-in process and hit the offload button. So that's what I did. It took it, but now I wonder what's going to happen for the next driver that comes in, if it's going to think that it is in use when he goes to start the pump. But whatever the case may be, that's what the water tech told me to do, so that's what I did. But I mean, like I said, the other driver meant well, but he just was a little on the quick side hitting that start button. He should have waited till I came out the door, and then he would have known that I was done checking in. So, like I said, not totally his fault. I wouldn't yell at him or anything like that, but it just kind of threw a little monkey wrench into it. Nothing that couldn't be fixed. So all's good, and we're on and up for the next one. So we gotta wait here for all this traffic. It is 3:46 p.m. so all these places are getting out of their first shift positions and commuting, so it's heavy traffic time. So we're just going to have to wait for the green light here. We're not going to be able to make a right turn on red, I believe. Look at all the traffic coming up 100 right now. It's never ending. So, oh, they're even stopping up there. What the heck is going on? 2 lanes that get on the 22 eastbound, 78 eastbound are like coming to a stop. That ain't good. I wonder what's going on that way. Alright, so I just showed you the clouds are lowering and thickening, and they're coming from the southwest actually, so I don't know when the rain's going to get here. Like I said, I figure it's going to be after 6 o'clock, even though they said after 4 o'clock. I think we got a couple hours to go yet, unless something breaks out ahead of it. But change of plans. We are here at the Red Barn location, but we are not going to go over to Allentown. Evidently, something in the manufacturing process broke down, so they're not taking any water. So we are here loading, like we were going to go there, but we're just going to go back down and take 2 loads back to Fogelsville. So we're going to end up doing 4 Fogelsvilles after all. But we're just going to get 2 of them out of this location. So, alright, so we skipped some of the road footage. We're down here unloading this 3rd one. Just starting to feel some raindrops, so the rain moving in a little bit early. It's about 5:20 or so, and so I said it probably wouldn't be here until after 6, but it looked like some stuff was breaking out ahead of that main slug of precipitation, so it may start just a little bit earlier than that. Like I said, I've been feeling a couple raindrops here, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Bad thing maybe because I'm going to get wet eventually if it starts raining hard enough. Good thing is that it'll clean the bugs off the windshield, because seeing as today was pretty warm and humid, there's a lot of bugs out, so I got a few bug splats that the rain will take care of. It seems like for some reason rainwater cleans bugs better than windshield washer fluid, if that makes any sense at all. But that's what I've noticed over the years. So, alright, we'll talk to you either on the way up or loading the last one. Alright, since no one's here, kind of show you how we hook up here. Not much different than anywhere else, really. Spray the sanitizer on all the fittings. Truck fitting and hose fitting. Really a simple loading process compared to other stuff like chemicals and even gasoline. Although I've watched this guy do gasoline and it doesn't seem like it's that hard to do, but some chemicals probably require quite the hookup procedure. Make sure the valve is open, and that's basically it. And go in and start the pump. Take a walk back outside and see if it's pumping right and everything's flowing good. Alright, so I'm a little bit ticked off right now. I don't know if y'all know this, but I usually use my cell phone for my selfie shots when I'm outside the truck or even when I'm inside the truck. If I'm not driving, I usually use my cell phone because I like the way it blurs the background and keeps me in focus. It kind of gives it a more professional look, if you call what I do professional, but I just like that look of isolating myself from the background, so I like using the cell phone for that purpose. Plus it's small and easy, and if somebody walks around I can quick shove it in my pocket. I'm not holding an actual camera, but for whatever, you know, that's the way I like to do it. All this time I thought that when I took the external microphone receiver out of the DJI and put it in my phone, it was connecting and working, until I did that last segment where I was showing you the hookup process here at the Red Barn location. As soon as I turned around, walked away from the camera, the audio went real quiet. My voice went down to a whisper until I came back to the truck. I'm like, why is that going on? And then I thought the receiver wasn't making a connection, because I should have about 50, or I don't know how long, pretty good distance between the receiver and the microphones that I wear around my neck here. As long as it can see it, it should pick it up. And it didn't. So I'm trying to figure out why it isn't making full connection, and even when lights are showing that it is making a connection. Here I come to find out, as I was playing around with everything, that I have to go in settings every time I start the phone camera and manually take it off phone microphone and put it on wired microphone. Even though it is a wireless microphone, I have to change it to wired microphone. The camera defaults back to its internal microphone whenever I shut the camera off and use it as a phone, or for whatever else I'm using it for. So every time I turn the camera on now, I gotta go into settings and change that setting and make sure that my external microphone's working. I didn't know that. All this time that I've been using my phone camera, I thought the external mic was picking everything up. Now I know why there was so much wind noise sometimes, or if I was near the truck noise was drowning out my voice, because it wasn't using the external microphone, it was using the phone microphone. So now that I learned that, hope I remember to do it all the time, or I'll have two different sounding audios. I mean, the phone audio isn't bad outright, but the external mic audio is better. So when I finish out tonight, or when I'm down at the plant, I'm gonna go into manual settings and I'm going to turn the microphone on and see if there's that much of a difference between the two. But that just ticked me off. I thought that the phone automatically used the external microphone when it was connected, that it would use the internal microphone if the receiver wasn't connected to the phone. But if the receiver was connected to the phone, then that would take over and it would shut down the camera, phone microphone. But evidently I was wrong. So, knowing that going forward, we'll see how we do and how many times I remember to do that or not. Alright, so we're down here unloading the fourth one. We are the only ones on the pad again. Nobody else is here. It's been like that all day. Sometimes there's one here, but generally I've had it all to myself. It's been a good day. Lights have been on, silos are taking water. So it's been a good day all the way around. I don't know why a beeping horn over there, but it's been a good day all the way around. I would have liked to have gone over to Allentown for the other two, but I can't help when the plant breaks down, so here we are. All four of them down here. But so I think I got that microphone deal figured out. Every time I turn the camera on, I have to go into my settings and turn the external microphone on. Otherwise, it defaults to the phone microphone, and if I walk away from it, then I don't have good audio. So something to keep in mind. All this time I've been just using the camera audio thinking I was using my external mics. Well, that sky out there isn't looking too healthy right now. We haven't had any rain yet. It's 7:50, almost 8 o'clock. I thought we'd see rain by 6 o'clock. We haven't had any rain yet. No, it's holding off. Let's just hope it holds off a little while longer. I gotta get fuel yet for this thing, and then of course post-trip it and walk into the shop and then walk out to my Jeep. So we stayed dry most of the day. It'd be nice if we could stay dry the rest of the day and start raining either on my way home or after I get home. But interesting looking sky up here, and got in a little mix of slow traffic here for some reason. I came up Route 100 in good shape. We were rolling right along speed limit, and now all of a sudden I'm in like this traffic jam here, and I don't know what's holding everything up. I thought the motorhome up there ahead of us was, but it's not. There's a truck up there, but I don't know what he's doing. Going super slow. A Prime truck. An Amazon truck. Not Prime. I should rephrase that. It's not Prime Inc. It's Amazon. And he is just going ridiculously slow. This is the second time today I got behind somebody that's just going like 15, 20 miles an hour under the speed limit. It's a 55 mile an hour road. And you gotta slow down a little bit for this curve here, but generally the road, once you get past the high school, is a 55 mile an hour road. And see, we're doing 35 here and people are still hitting their brakes. Now we're down into the 20s. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the guy's having mechanical issues or he's just that slow of a driver, or is he scared to drive it? But if he's having mechanical issues, right here would be a good place to pull over and figure out what the problem is and maybe get road service to come out and fix them. Not hold traffic up like this. 31 miles an hour, that's all we're doing here. It's a wide open 55 mile an hour road and he is just crawling. Even going downhill. I'm getting up close to 40 now, but he's just really, really slowing down. Now everybody's braking again. Jeez Louise. What are we doing here? 25 miles an hour again. Do we have a long line of cars behind us? Holy moly. I wonder what kind of choice words are flying out of the mouths of some of these people here in this traffic that we're stuck in. Oh, we're going slow enough that you can see the miniature golf course here to our right. This is a nice place. There's 2 miniature golf courses, I think. They got a small little railroad that goes through there. They got go-kart racing. Nice little family fun park here. Wife and I have been there a few times. It's really cool. And of course they got a snack bar and ice cream stand and all that kind of stuff. Really cool place. Now it's going to be the mad dash to get around this dude. I'm going to be one of them. Oh, come on, four-wheeler. Come on. Come on. You're good. Yeah, this dude ain't the holdup. Usually a lot of times these guys go slow, but he's not the problem. He's getting going here too. Maybe I should have held back and let him come out. Is this Amazon truck here? I don't know. Alright, so we're back at the shop. We're parked along the creek because the bottom's all filled up with dump buckets and tankers. I thought that there's a couple extra trucks out on night shift, so I thought that maybe I'd have a spot down there, but we had parked along the creek. But anyway, all our paperwork's filled out and stuffed in the envelope, so all we gotta do is take that in and see what we're doing on Monday and all that good stuff. But before we do that, we gotta take a walk around the truck, give it a quick post trip. So, but that's it for this week. We will talk to you in the next one.